There you are. I've been looking for you. Good morning. This is Zen Fitz from Blackstone, Virginia, the center of the world. And I come to you this morning because I'm excited. I get excited when I get my cup of coffee and go onto Facebook and answer comments from yesterday's post, and then come up a new one, and when I start writing, I get an insight. And today's insight that I want to share with you, it's kind of like pops, you see, is the pathless path of JC. The pathless path of JC. Now, we've all heard this idea of the pathless path. The pathless path. And we all use the expression when somebody says, I'm going to do this, you say, no way. No way. You know. So what is this no way? No way means no path, no road, the end of the sidewalk, woods, no path. Nobody's been there before. Explorers always go on the pathless way because there's no map. That's what exploration means. No map. Nobody's been here before. Jake Sully on Pandora. No map. Nobody's been here before. Of course, the Navi were seeing Pandora through their native eyes. No big deal. But JC JS was seeing it fresh through the eyes of a human waking up, you see. So what is the pathless path of JC? Well, first of all, who is JC? Now, I began my yoga path reading the proscribed book, A Hero with 1,000 Faces by Joseph Campbell. In my yoga, and this was yoga with a guru and a teacher, that was the Bible, Joseph Campbell. And there is a quote by Joseph Campbell that really gets to the pathless path here when he said, where there is no way or path, it is someone else. When there is a way or a path, it is someone else's path. You are not on your own path. If you follow someone else's way, you're not going to realize your potential. You're not going to realize your potential if you just quote memes from other people. If you just quote memes from JC, from Joseph Campbell, how ironic this is. If you just quote quotes from Joseph Campbell, you're not going to realize your potential. And now, looking in the Bible, another JC, Jesus Christ, JC, the Bible says, now when Jesus saw a crowd around him, he gave orders to go over to the other side. He gave orders to go over to the other side. And a scribe came up and said to him, Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go. I'll follow your path. And Jesus said to him, Foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests. But the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head, no path. Another of the disciples said to him, Lord, let me first go and bury my father before I follow you. And Jesus said to him, Follow me, and leave the dead to bury their own dead. Now, what's the difference between that JC and the other JC? And what's the difference between that and the Prajnaparamita and the Diamond Sutra of Zen that says, arouse the mind that does not rest on anything. Arouse the mind that does not rest on any path. In other words, be Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible. When the path, his plan, his strategy collapses, as it always does, now he's got to wing it like Indiana Jones and just step out on faith. Step out on faith. No path, no safety net. Nobody's been here before. Nobody knows what to do. There's no manual. There's no text. There's no definitions of anything. There's no place to rest your head, you see. And see, so what I'm pointing to here is basically the fundamental teaching, the fundamental question of Christians, of secularists, of Zen, of Buddhists, of everybody, is the question, well, what's the way? What should I do? What's the path? What's the instructions? Tell me, I'll do it. Anything. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to believe. You see, anything. I can't just rest my head on nothing, which reminds me of an old yoga story. Of an old yoga story. It's funny, when I first began yoga, all the stories were yoga stories, from India, classic India stories, yoga stories. And there was a yoga story of this old sage who was sleeping in a cemetery, or sleeping, and he had his feet on the Shiva lingam. In other words, he had his feet on a statue of Shiva. And a monk came along and says, "What? Get your foot off that. That's a sacrilege. Take your feet off of God. Take your feet off the altar." And so the yogi said, "Okay." So he goes over and lies down somewhere else, and the Shiva linga rises up under his feet. What does that mean? There's no place to put your feet that isn't on God. Well, now see, the irony there is that you can't put your feet on God, because wherever you put your feet is God. Well, that means there's no path. If every way you go is the way, where is the way? There is no way. Whatever you choose, there is no choice when there is no path. A path means there's a choice. There's the right way, there's the wrong way. I've been going the wrong way all this time. You see? So there's this idea of choice. Now, we in the West, our Western thinking, our minds, rest our head on choice. That's where we put our head. That's where we rest our head. We say, well, I can choose the right way, and then I ask some expert or doctor, or you get cancer, the doctor will tell you the right way to go. Well, you got to do this, and that. And you do it, you see. So science is all about telling you the right way instead of the wrong way. Oh, don't take those vitamins, that's the wrong way. Read the medical journal. And the vitamin people say, don't read the medical journal, take the vitamins. So everybody's got their own way. And everybody affirms their own way by denying the other. My way is right because it's not yours, you see. I'm a Republican because I'm not a liberal, and I'm a liberal because I'm not a Republican. Everybody's looking for their own way. JC says, Joseph Campbell of Jesus, there is no way. There is no place to rest your head. There is no good or bad to rest your head on. That means there's no choice. That means when you are an explorer and you are seeing the world for the first time, whatever you do is the way. There's no choice because there's no map. You got to have a map in order to have a choice. You got to have a manual in order to have a choice. You got to have a parent in order to have a choice. But when there's no choice, you're free to be who you are. You're free to discover the way. You're free to discover the way that has not existed before because you have not existed before. But as long as you think there's a way for me to exist, so I'll be good, I'll get to the goal, I have created myself as I have existed before. Because I've created myself as other people have defined me, as other people have told me who I am, you see. But when the Son of Man said there's no place to put your head, go into that. There's no place to put your head is a metaphorical way of saying, it's very deep. It's a Zen koan. You can't exhaust it. You have to apply it to every moment. So when you come to a crossroads, should I do this or do that? How do I open this damn box? What's the way to fix this project? What's the way? Pause and remember JC. There is no way place to rest your head, you see. You're free from worry. You're free from wondering if I'm going right or not. You're free from the manual. Don't read the fucking manual. Throw it in the trash. Be the way. Thanks for dropping in.